All right, good morning. How's everybody doing on this fine March morning? March already. 2 months are already gone. So welcome. Back a little bit. Welcome to our team meeting, and we're going to be talking a little bit about our market. But before we get started, let's start with some good news. Who's got something exciting to share? Get some energy going. Yes, sir.
I got LASIK, sir.
LASIK. Now you can see, but he's still got glasses. He goes, I got LASIK. It's really good. Awesome. Oh, but it's part of your fashion, right? You got to look real cool.
That's how he sells homes.
Yes. Now, if CW has his on, no comment. Okay. Great. Anybody else got something exciting to share? Yes. Well, that's so they can hear you online.
Oh, gotcha. Hey,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yes.
So I want to introduce Camilla to Keller Williams.
Yay.
She recently passed her exam. So
Yep.
She is official. Yay.
Yay.
So everybody welcome her and be helpful. And she's actually already talking to me about some things she's got in
Awesome.
the pot, which is awesome. So she's going to do amazing.
All right. Awesome. Great. Hence, you profit share will be benefit too with your success. Yeah, that's right. Cool. That's why. That's how it works. Awesome. Welcome aboard. All right. Anybody else? Anybody? Barbara's just waving. Nothing? Rebecca, we can come in. We don't bite. You do. I like that. All right. Awesome. Well, let's jump in and get started into our meeting. A few things that just want to showcase and remind you with. Norm, we're going to get Norman multiple screens here to get started and get moving on this approach. But let's get started. You ready for Greg?
Hang on 1 second. Are we going straight in, Chad? You going straight into it?
No, I'm going to get our announcements first.
Perfect.
But I'm waiting for Norman.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to come up.
Loading.
All right, Greg, come up here and talk. You're ready.
Come on, Greg.
Give us something smart.
Hello, everyone. My name is Greg. I handle the marketing for the office. Well, you're not ready. Well, cool. So I just want to talk a little bit about marketing. I have a video I want to share with you guys as well. So one thing about marketing, like guys will meet with me and attending any classes. So marketing is a system, right? So it's not what you do once, it's what you can do on an ongoing basis. So as you're doing your marketing, whether it's content, newsletters, text messaging, like find a way to systemize it. You want to do it on a regular basis. If you do it once, remember, it's not marketing. You have to do it on a regular basis. Another thing to take in consideration as like a big high level tip is with marketing, you work hard on what's working, right? So if you had like a pie chart of what all of you guys do in marketing, some of you guys a little bit more aggressive on door knocking, some of you a little bit more aggressive on social media, some of you a little more aggressive on newsletters, etc. So you work hard on what's working. It doesn't mean you don't do the other things, but you allocate resources on what's actually working. Marketing is a system, which means it's measurable. So you should be able to track where your leads is coming from. There's some tools in Command that tracks that people are opening your newsletter. So you have a database of 1,000 people, you send a newsletter and 2 people open it, maybe you need to do some changes for it, right? So you want to measure it, you want to work hard on what's working. So there's some high level tips I want to share with you guys. And then can we go to the video first, if you don't mind? Yeah. So one, we've been doing different videos with different agents in our office. So every week I want to kind of share a different video that we have. So the next one I'm going to share is a video we did with Sapna, which is a really great video. And then you can hit play.
She's so excited.
There's always a celebration in Fort Bend County. We celebrate our diversity and togetherness through the many cultural events hosted here, and you bet I'll be present. Hi, I'm Sapna Patel, a Keller Williams realtor. I have lived in Fort Bend County for over 3 decades, and my 3 children have attended the top-rated Fort Bend ISD schools where I volunteer and have had the opportunity to meet so many other families. Our county is so diverse and filled with amazing people, forming a charitable community. Throughout my years here, I have been very active in the school district, my neighborhood HOA, local elections, and even natural disasters. It is important to me that my family and I are taking an active role in our community. I love that it brings us closer as a family while being able to meet new people. Neighbors become extended family, and that's exactly what makes Fort Bend and Sugar Land so special. You never feel alone. Keller Williams' commitment to charitable events in our community is something that caught my eye. I saw this as the perfect match to my community involvement, and that is why I have found success and happiness with the Keller Williams family. I take every opportunity at KW to learn, to share, to teach, and collaborate with the other agents to achieve the values of Keller Williams. Being part of such a community and having the gift to connect with so many different types of people is crucial in real estate. From the features of feng shui, vastu, to which direction does a front door face, it's my job to know the needs of my clients. It allows me to find the perfect home for my buyers and to advise my sellers on how to stage their homes to attract the greatest number of buyers and get the highest sales price. Working with me makes a stressful time smoother, whether it's sitting down and listening to my clients over a cup of tea or taking that phone call at 10 p.m. I'm the agent that will put my clients first. I help them get through the often challenging process with my expertise, like calling in vendors at a moment's notice. I thrive on being there for my clients. I'm making milestones happen every day, so give me a call so I can help you with your next home experience. Or step into a real estate career of your dreams at Keller Williams. I am Patel with Keller Williams, and I've got what it takes to push real estate forward.
Hand her a mic. I'm putting you on the spot. Just, okay. No, let's talk about the experience, right? And what's the lessons you did? This is not just about something. Remember, success leaves clues. Copy if you like something, right? There's an essence that comes out of that, and you too can create your own video experience. So what's the lessons you learned by walking through that video process? Just so you know, it took a moment to get it done.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I did not like doing videos.
You did not like doing videos.
I
Okay.
don't like putting myself out there on social media.
Yep.
Yes, at first I kept thinking, okay, maybe I won't have to do it. But Chad and Greg, once it was done, I was like, well, do we really need to publish it? And you know, it took me a while to get it posted.
Yep.
But once I did, I realized it wasn't as big of a deal as I was making it in my head. That what did Chad tell me? That a video is better than no video, right?
Yep.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
That was a theme.
And
My
I just-
mediocre video
Yes.
beats your no video
Yes.
video every day of the week.
So I posted it on Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday. I've got a gazillion people texting me, Facebook messaging me, commenting on my video, telling me how great it was. And so whatever I was thinking is not there, which is it's big for me. That when I started real estate, I don't really want to ask people to hire me. I was wanting to wait for someone to hire me. And that's how I feel about social media. If I just keep pushing on my personal page, people are going to go, oh, why is she always posting about real estate? So yeah, it was a big, I guess I won't be as reluctant next time to do a video. I think some people are really natural at it. They can just get up and talk and they don't have to do anything. I am not that natural at it. But I realize that I'm okay with the way my voice sounds, you know, because I think that used to bother me quite a bit. And it didn't bother me as much. And probably because Chad and Greg really pushed me, just post it. And I'm like, okay. And it was hard when the two of them were doing it, one of them doing it on their own. I still kind of ignored it a while. So it's not as bad, I think. And posting a video or posting anything on social media, it really does put you out there and to let people know you're an agent. I have been a secret agent I was a secret agent for a while. I am not now for sure, not after this video. And whatever I was doing, it shows that I'm a real estate agent and I'm doing this full time. And because of this experience, I'm going to start teaching some classes on marketing. I was a marketing major. I don't know why I have a hard time with it. I'm okay with teaching everybody, but I can't do it myself. Just to get over this, because I think other people have the same issue as I do.
No,
They don't want to put up
that's why I
videos.
asked you to share.
Okay.
All right, couple lessons from that is, right? She did a lot of aiming, and we're like, just fire for Pete. It's awesome, right? Because she wanted to be perfect. And yet, could you find some flaws in it? Oh, yeah, of course we could, right? So part of it is just go. And if you're going, where do I start? If you want to, some of the best videos get traction is right here from, these are all reminders, by the way, but it does capture, and she's authentic into the video as she is normally, right? It's not somebody she is not. So just do it. I hope you hear that. And Greg is here to partner with you on some resources to make it happen. If you were to pay for that, right, that would typically cost what?
$1,500.
About $1,500. But it's pretty timeless. It can go on for a good 2 years. And I think you're going to get a return in business for that. Right, Sapana? Have you got a call already to do business with you? Yeah, yeah. You'll get a return on it, and we can track it. Go ahead.
I got a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely thank you, Sapana, for sharing that
Yeah.
and being involved in that process. You know, another lesson learned, no one can hire you if they don't know you're an agent, right? So one of the most important things is to put yourself out there. They don't know your services. So she put her services out there and it will make a difference in the long run. Like Chad was saying, there's multiple resources you can use for a video, where number one is your own phone, right? Because you could do a video right now if you wanted to. Number two, we have Home USA Studios. They do videos for free, right? You just got to book a session, go to homeusastudio.com. And then we have different vendors. A video like that would be $1,500 plus, but that's because there's a drone footage and everything like that. If you just have it even more simplified, it'll be under $1,000. So there's something to take in consideration. Can you go to the next slide? You know? Cool. So one thing that we're gonna launch this month, I know a lot of you use various different tools for social media content and flyers and things like that. So some of you use Canva, some of you use Command Design, some of you use Michael Lewis Marketing Suite. So basically we're gonna create a whole directory of different resources and actual templates that you can use via Canva. So everything from door knocking, business cards, social media content, open house flyers, things that are print ready and social media ready. So we're gonna have a whole suite of that available to you. That's gonna be something that at no cost to you as well. So it's something that really help you. Different colors. I know many agents have their own branding, their own logos. So if you want it in blue, you want it in black, you want it in brown, you want it in red, you want it in green, those options are gonna be available to you. The idea is to make it more of a seamless experience where, hey, you have an open house, you click on this link, you open up the template, you upload the listing photos, you hit download and you're done. So that's what we're gonna have ready for you this month. It's gonna be out there. So we're gonna start off with about 30 different templates for you guys to use and then expand beyond that. If you want to find the information right away as soon as it's launched, just send an email to team@agentmarketingdesk.com, subject line marketing, and then as soon as we launch, you'll get an email. Cool.
Okay, awesome. Good stuff. Okay, great. Take advantage of it. All right, what do we got next? We already got that. That's how you find Greg. She's not feeling well. Okay. Do I have a clicker? I'll be in control.
Sure.
Norman doesn't want to give up control of this. Okay, I'm just gonna, any highlights, anything that we need to showcase?
I just had a couple.
Yeah, go ahead. Come
I
on.
just want to give a public service announcement about what's going on in the world. Chad may allude to it later, a little bit later on in more detail. Just so you know, a lot of our back end of our technology is serviced by.
This is KW.
Yes, KW, Keller Williams, is backed by powerhouses and technicians in the Ukraine, okay, based in the Ukraine. Now, on a day-to-day basis, you're probably not even going to notice, but just in case, if something slows down or there's some kind of technical glitch going on, just be mindful that some of our back end is in the Ukraine and they're currently moving to a more stable region so they can continue to service our technology. So again, that was just on that. And then of course we're you know, our idea is to always provide you with a lot of value and a lot of powerful information so you can go out and succeed, you know, out there in production. And one source is obviously the great Israel Flores, and he's got something big coming up, right, Israel?
Yeah, so tomorrow we are doing, I'm teaching a GPS 411 class. If you don't know what a GPS and 411, then you need to come to this class. I'm Israel Flores, by the way, if you guys don't know me, my wife and I have a team here. So one of our goals from AOC, what's that?
And ALC.
Yes, One of our goals as part of our ALC, which I am on, blessed to be on,
Yes.
is
We're honored.
to improve our cappers and increase our cappers. So one of our first classes will be tomorrow, 2:30 here in the training room. GPS is goals priority strategies. So if you're, especially for our newer agents starting out, it's a little overwhelming, kind of get clarity on that. So I'll have all the materials here. You just need to show up. Okay, be about an hour long. So focus on GPS and we'll touch on the 411 as well. So tomorrow, 2:30.
Tomorrow at 2:30. All right, cool. And you're allowed to wear a hat as long as it says KW. So if it doesn't, then you're out. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you, Ken. Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay, awesome. We're going to jump into it. And I'm just going to start sharing some slides with you. I have 9 different slides of what's going in Fort Bend County, breaking down by some cities, because I just want to put this in perspective for you, right? Is the reality of what we market. And these will be great slides if you'd like to use them and put them in your PowerPoint so we can educate, right? We need to educate people that get here. This is one of the greatest books I can tell you how to sell. If you have not read this in a while, pulled off the cover, it's the Shift book. And it was written in a time where there was a shift when we went from a seller's market and swung all the way over to extreme buyer's market. And today's market is what? What makes it a seller's market? Yeah. Yeah, so the numbers we're going to use, right? Anything less than 5 months supply of inventory. Month supply of inventory means if no new markets came on, no new homes came on the market, theoretically they would be gone, right, in this many months. And today we're using decimal points to describe that. So I want to put it in perspective. And this is all properties, right? Is there still some houses today that do not sell? Yes. Oh, we still have expires, huh? How could you have expires in this market? There's only 2 reasons, price or condition, right? I mean, I'm telling you, this is a reality. This is the way, if we've been in this business for 20 years or 40 years, you can correct me if I'm wrong, we can still be out of the market. We still see homes that you see the price tag and going, well, I'd sell my house for that too. I have people that call me and they said, is your home for sale? What do you always say? Yes, for the right price. And they go, well, you're crazy. I just told you I would sell it for that. I don't know, maybe somebody from California wanted me to give that. And then my next challenge is going to be what? Where are you going to live? Where are you going to live? That is a reality of what we face. And here it is. So here's a few things I want you to look at. If you look at this, this is Fort Bend County, right? And this is just the trend, is that you look at different things. Here's a cool slide. And I'm going to jump around because Norman and he just threw them up here. And I just want to give you a perspective. On this paper right here in this sheet, we'll put on kwsw25.com so you can see it, is just looking at what's for sale at the beginning of the month and what's for sale at the end of the month, because there's a difference. A lot of times, more properties come on the market in the beginning of the month than the end. The one trend we learned in our area, you guys all want to close your property on the last day of the month. That's great fun for running a market center. I don't know why that is. Maybe AMCAP tells you to put it at the end of the month. Like if Chris is here closing out deals so we can transmit by the 3rd day, meaning close our books in a business day. And I think how many percentage of that? 2/3 of our properties, everything we closed in the last month. You don't have to do that, by the way. We can change that pattern. It's fun. So if you look at this just kind of tells us what's for sale right at the beginning and the trend and where you are. So 2 different things. Our inventory is way down, and then what's even available at the end of the month is even lower. We're at extreme cases of inventory. And when I use the word extreme, it's extreme. Have you ever seen it like this, CW? Never before. And you've been in the business since when? 73. You hear that, right? That's the reality we have to face. Okay. And then we jump ahead and we look at some things. This is basically your sales absorption. So I'm looking percentage of properties under contract and the number of percentages of what's sold. And this is Fort Bend. you can get into the numbers, but this is just a visual to say, oh my goodness, look where we are, even compared to February last year, where we thought last year we were in extreme of inventory. Like, whew, I can't wait for it to change. Hold on, it's probably only going to get worse before it gets better. Let me say that again. It's only going to get worse with inventory, and worse is probably right. Not the best way to, it is what it is. You can make there's always an opportunity in any market. So just know the inventory shortage, the amount of buyers show up, what we're seeing in all historical numbers and everything coming is it's probably going to get tougher. There's some variables. We do have somebody invading another country on side of the world, and we just, in our world, in KW, it's going to affect us. This is going to show up. I don't know how. Okay. Let's jump ahead to another one as we look at it, right? So this is for Fort Bend. This is average days on market. So there's two different types of shifts. There is seasonal shifts. Most times sellers say the best time to list their property is when? In the spring. You guys all answered that. Why? Why have they been saying that for so many years, CW? We don't know. It's always a trend. I don't know why it is. So we always have a seasonal trend that causes a shift. And then we have just historical things that are going on with an economic turn. So the one thing I looked at this one and saw is you saw how we came out February days on market, and then it went down, and then it went back up again, right? Slight variation. I think we're going to see this trend even more dramatic than we are moving forward. It's going to be days on market and all that. It's going to continue to be tight. You might disagree with me, but I get the mic today and I get to say it. Okay. But you can, right? Here's just looking at the number of properties sold in Fort Bend County, right? Now, what does for sale mean? What's sold mean? Yeah, but this is prices, but also there's opportunity. If you go out there and say, there's no listings out there, I would say, what? No listings? No, we just need to make sure they don't go to the other brand. Remax, the company has X in their name. This is one that has whatever brand you wanted, you name, right? Just make sure it doesn't go to them, please, right? Control it. Here's your median price, right? Median price over the last 2 years from 270 to 380. So that tells you what, man, it's always great to own real estate. Is it good to own real estate today?
Yes.
I mean, do you believe it? Do you drink the water that you sell? I hope you're finding a place to own real estate. Gary Keller, when he was on the stage, what did his shirt say? He was there? Buy dirt. They're not, that means real estate. They're not making more dirt and it's going to go up. We go, well, what if something happens? Well, if you're going to be it in a year, it's tough. But if it was last year, then it would have been really good. Have you ever seen anybody watch this? I've watched some people try to time this market and they got out of an investment a couple of years ago because things are going to change and it cost them $100,000, $200,000. And these are real numbers. You can never time the market, by the way. But if somebody's going to move in their property and be there 5 to 10 years, it's going to be outstanding. Yes. Yeah.
What kind of, I mean, none of the numbers have made sense in terms of cash flow, but how much negative are you willing to go per month?
Me personally, I'm always looking for positive cash flow right away. Okay. Is there global buyers that are willing to take a negative cash flow for a long term and put their money into it? Yes. That's what makes it so tough. So I personally, I want to see some sort of positive cash flow. But great question. But yeah, over the long term, we know it's going to go up. And if inflation goes up, I'd rather have it in real estate. Anybody can argue with that. Okay, let's just keep jumping ahead. Here's month supply of inventory. This is for Missouri City, 0.7. Good times. You're like, that's why it's brutal out there. This is for Richmond and Rosenberg, 0.8. It's better there, 0.8. Here's month supply. This is for Sugar Land, 0.7. I mean, February 20 was awesome, by the way. I mean, in our market, right? We were at 4.1, still a seller's market. This is for all Fort Bennett's 0.9. This is all properties, by the way. This is for even, I can't believe they listed that and they're trying to sell the property. Okay, this is all included in that. Norman, you're gonna jump. So here's what I'm gonna tell you. The one trend that we have a seasonal trend, and Norman's gonna switch it. I want to show this one last one real fast. Is this one here? This one stood out to me. Is we always have a seasonal piece of days on market. We saw what the trend was last year because everyone in the demand was really high. I think it's going to get really tight for a while. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm going to have Dale share some things about interest rates because that was an interesting day yesterday. If you watch interest rates at all, what did they do? They went down, and then what happened? There's a reason why this is. Okay, so I want to jump to a few slides that Gary showed on the vision speech. I don't know if many of you watched that. The reason I'm going over these slides is two reasons. Is this packed full of a whole year of research that Gary put out from us. I would encourage you to use some of these in your own presentations when you're talking to people. And two is I'm consuming this as fast as I can too, to really have a good pulse of where we are. Because it's going to be an interesting year. It's going to be tough at times, right? Even when you get a listing and you go, oh, it'll sell really fast. What does that come with? How many offers? How many? Yeah, many could be sometimes double digits. And you're like, is that a lot of fun? It's a lot of work. You got to organize it and choose it and work through it. So those pieces of the reality of it is in the shift book, right? In tactic number 1, it says what? Who knows tactic number 1 in the shift book? Come on, Dan. Yeah, it's get what? Get real to get right. This is a reality, but here's some things that it talks about when it says to get real and get right. It doesn't matter what market that we're in, right? You can't control the market, but you can control your outlook and your response to the market. There's still, all those sheets there's still plenty of opportunity. Just don't let the opportunity go to somebody else because it will, right? So can't control the market, yet you can control your outlook and your response to it. So our goal is continuous to get there first. Kimbra.
One of the things I keep hearing is I'm frustrated with the situation of buyers not really understanding this market. And so I'm looking back, a year and a half, 2 years ago, people who are like, I'm not going to pay that. I'm not going to overpay for that house. It'd be really interesting to go back, do a CMA on what that house sold for and what that market looked like when it was sold and what it's worth today. Help them get real about. I even had to talk to my son an entry-level purchase. I was just like, yep, you're going to overpay today because it's cheaper to overpay today than overpay tomorrow because it is not going down.
And your answer is, how long is he planning on staying in the home?
Exactly.
So his answer was what?
3 to 5.
5, yeah. He'll still be, even if we need to rent it, we can as well. But on average, people live in their home how long?
7.
It's even closer to 10 now, 10 years. Tell me one time in our economy and owning a property in real estate in 10 years, you didn't go up. You're building equity, you're putting money into it. It's always best to own real estate. If it's 2 years, we don't know what could happen. We don't know what could happen this year, right? If we have a war that's going on the other side of the world, it could escalate and you go, Chad, remember what you said was going to happen? I can't control that. Right? We got knuckleheads that live in this world. I mean, they can change and put a wrinkle in all this. Okay. Am I ready to go on this? I want to hit, these are national, these are by Gary, but I'm going to hit some of our key numbers. Do you have to move it or I can?
I have to move.
Okay, keep going and I'll tell you when to stop. These are good slides because you guys got to get in the, and I say this, I have to get in the practice of looking at numbers, right? We need to be the economist of choice. We need to look people in the eye and say, here's what the data is showing us and telling us. Now it's ultimately up for you to make the best decision. And what Kimber just said is we need to educate some buyers. If you're going to be in your home 2 years and are really fearful and they don't want to do it, then maybe this is not the best time for you to buy. It's okay. We can take care of them because we don't know how this is going to ride up. Remember, anybody take economics in school, college? What goes up, Zoe, what? Always comes down. Something's going to change in this. That's the only thing I know, right?
National Association of Realtors just put out that the average appreciation rate has gone down slightly from last year. So, yeah, it was great. You can't really time out the market. You don't know what's going on, but it went from 5.2 to 4.7.
Okay, so nationally, if you look at home sales, good data to look at, right? The peak of it in 05, when people were making a lot of money, what was happening with lender practice back in 04 and 05, Dale? Meaning there was no parameters. You want money, we give you money, right? And so all of a sudden the number of sales went really high. And yet even after last year with the number of sales, right? It was about what it says. We had a lot more homes. We have more people living in it, right? So this is not too out of whack, right? But they are projecting less sales. We will probably have less sales in our area. The biggest reason why, what the heck are we going to sell? We don't have any stinking inventory, right? Not because of lack of buyers, okay? Keep going. This is just gives a little bit of your monthly, keep going. That's not the one I wanted to hang out on. And then here you go. Here's a little bit of your home prices. Great slide to put in perspective. The more you could do this to your area and copy it, the more you'd be an economist of choice, right? So if you look at sales price and where you kind of would be on just a normal 4%, right, increase, you saw those years. So what happened when we go back to 08, 07 is when you hear places like Phoenix, Arizona, or places in California, or heard of Las Vegas or in Florida, people were buying right at the top of this, and then they needed to sell here, and they were underwater, right? Meaning, some of you that's been in this less than a few years, the seller had to bring a check to the closing to sell their property. I'm going to pay you to buy my home. How big of a check did you guys see at one time in your career? 84,000. That was where?
That was actually
Washington.
but still, it should have.
Yeah. But actually, could you imagine having to be somebody who comes and writes $84,000 to sell their home? What do most people do at that point? Just walk away. And that's why you have the distress and the foreclosures that went up. We saw that here too, right? 5, 10, but even to that point, you're like, I'm going to collect a commission on it. And the seller's having to bring a check to sell it. Yes, we still collected commission. And sometimes we still, right? We earn money during this time because we're walking them through it. But just to put that in perspective, this is the people that were here. Didn't see as much as Houston as you did maybe in the West Coast or in other places. But still, even on that trend line, right, because you had the dip, we're not too far out of whack, by the way. So Gary would say this, are we in a bubble? He said, no. Are we starting to blow one? Yes. Really powerful if you just put that in really simple terms. Okay, keep going. This is just a monthly graph of our overall prices, right? Keep going. I'll tell you when to stop. Good stuff. Keep going. Annual appreciation. Here's your inventory nationally, right? Last year was around 2.3 as an average. Sure. That'd be you, Norman. I'm sorry. So what this basically is just breaking down the appreciation. You see in range of years when money had lost, right? The 06 to 11. Anybody sell real estate then, by the way? Anybody have a record career or have a record year during one of those years? Yes. So it doesn't matter what market, right? I want you to hear this. What's your question on this?
Not a question, but I think that's related to the statement you were making, Berta, about the rate of appreciation changing so far.
Yeah. Okay, keep going. We're gonna get to a couple slides. All these I'm gonna put on the kwsw25.com. When I say me, Nimesh or a Norman, and they'll have it so you can actually pull one of those off and use the one that really resonates you, study it and know it. Right? Because Kimber just said it. We got to educate people. We got to really understand, put this in perspective. Okay, inventory, keep going. Here's mortgage rates. Oh, this would be your cue, Dale. Okay. If you look at historically where interest rates are, so what's the highest you sold a home? What interest rate? Over 13. 13% was the interest rate. So if you look at the way that we gave away money, when we got down here under 3 and the 2s, I mean, they were just giving money away, but that affects affordability. So put a little perspective in interest rates. What would you add to Mr. Expert in the lending thing? What's some insight you'd give us on mortgage rates?
First thing, just like COVID and the war over in Ukraine and the supply chain issues that we're having, nobody here controls interest rates. Firstly, we know that they're going up, right? Everyone understands that. If you've been under a rock, then you don't know this, but interest rates are going up. They can't forever stay at historically low levels. Things change. As economists tell you, what goes up comes down. What goes down comes up eventually over time. So you don't control that. What we have to look at is what is causing rates now to go up, and again, beyond our control, but that inflation potentially is all-time high. It just means that maybe for many years, we were at a very good, solid, steady pace. And so it may become more expensive for us to do what we do on a consistent basis. If you look at so many different aspects in our economy right now, oil is on the rise. Oil today hit a high of $112. It hasn't been there since way back in 2005. So that's a great indicator that people that are in oil are maybe going to make some money. But it also means
it's
going to cost your buyers more money to do what they do on a consistent basis. The downside with rising interest rates is that this causes your buyer to pay more money for the house. When you look at those numbers that show the average price of the home increasing, now it costs more money to live. What that means for our economy, unfortunately, is there's less discretionary income. There's less places for the buyers to spend their money because they're spending it more in the home price and in rates going up. Here's the only thing that I know that you guys need to ask, regardless of whatever happens in the world, we don't control that. Do you, the buyer, need a home to put your family in? And what are you willing to pay to put your family in? I've got a sister who's a nurse. She has a son-in-law who's a doctor. And the guy told her that she doesn't need to buy a house now because the house prices have gone up so much. And I don't know where he got his guidance, but I do know that I hope that he's an expert at being a doctor at medicine, because you guys right here are the experts at what's going on in the housing market. And you've got to live up to that. You're the guys that do this as a profession. The guy that sells cars, hopefully he's great at selling cars. Be very specific at what you do, but know that ultimately, if you need a place to move your family to, this is what it's going to take to do it.
All right, so I want you to, lenders hate when you ask them to do this. I'm putting on your spot. Where do you see rates kind of by the end of the year? Where do you think they'll end up? This is an educated, this is no disclaimer where they into. Where do you believe they'll end up?
Absolutely. I think as we've seen rates go up, there's a lot of variables. Again, credit is a big impact. Amount of down payment is a big impact. I think that rates are probably going to be on a 30-year fixed conventional rate, about 4.25 to maybe close to 4.5%. Great credit, good down payment, conventional loans. Look at the numbers right here. At rates like this, we get here, we're still a few years away from these rates being still at considered historic low rates. That's not a reason to deter someone from buying a house. I can't find a house, might be a potential option there. Secondly, that home prices are going up might be something to keep them from purchasing a house, but rates are definitely not the issue. So Chad said something a little earlier that I thought was important. He talked about another company with an X in their name. You guys that have an opportunity to promote Keller Williams that have potential listings coming up, put the word out, support the office, and let all of these people sitting here that have buyers know that there's a house. Why not have one of your own sell the house and work together as an office? Because you know the transaction is going to go right. You know you guys are trained. There's a lot of dummies out there in the real estate world. Don't deal with them.
Zoe, you got a question?
I do. So just out of curiosity, the last time, like 2017, we saw that there was a little bit of a bump in rates, right? Do you think that had a direct impact on the shift that we started experiencing where higher priced homes started to sit a little longer than we were used to?
Okay, well, number one is, remember how we started this? What was going on in 04 and I-5? We had what practices in lending?
Shady.
Shady.
Right, no, I'm
No.
talking 17.
Yeah. Oh, on this last one on 17?
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to that. Remember, real estate caused that 07 and 08, right? Meaning we caused it, one, with lending practices and some other shady stuff that was going on. There's a lot of shady people that were getting rich that was not good. So we caused it on the last, which in 17 she's talking about. I don't know. We experienced a little bit of a shift, but it was still on an upward
We started to
trend.
see it where it started to stabilize a bit. And my question is, with rates going up, do you anticipate in a year, 2 years that we're going to start to see again what we saw 2017-ish, 16-ish? That's all I can relate.
You know, I'm not an economist, but we can look back at history, and it's usually an indicator that things go up and go down pretty consistent. There's a little thing, you know, rates and being tied together potentially. Back in 2017 with the jumbo loans and things like that, there was a little bit of a correction in the market because too many people were being given way too much money with too little down. And so there was a nervousness. Also, though, there was a little dip in oil prices. And that made a big impact in the people that were buying these high $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 homes. They were losing jobs. And that was the big concern for jumbo lenders at that time was, will this person be able to make our payment? And again, unfortunately, this area is really still heavily tied to the oil business.
Okay. Oh, one last, yes.
I would say that my reality, I've been a lot with the same before, is that housing prices have jumped significantly.
Correct.
Something that was $430 last September is now $480. Something that was $370.
Correct.
last August, now over $400.
Correct.
You can't do a CMA with 6 months going back 6 months.
Correct.
You gotta go back 90 days at best, find another way, figure out so you can tell your buyers, this is the reality of it, not what it was 6 months.
So how's that affect appraisals?
Well, that is impacting appraisals. Again, an appraiser, just like you all, pulls comps. I would provide every comp that you can to help support any high dollar price. Appraisers right now are not using multiple offer situations. In the past, they would ask you as an agent to provide multiple offers. If you're getting offers that are at over asking price, provide those comps. They're not using those, unfortunately. They want to get the most recent information that they can. And so there is a calculation or an adjustment they do just based on current market rates. you might see that some house that in no way, and I've seen this quite a bit lately, the agents tell me there's no way we're going to get there. I'm being prepared. Well, instead of thinking that they're $20,000 or $30,000 off and we're going to have to make up the difference, appraisals are either coming in at value or just slightly under. So there have been compensations for the craziness in the market. Again, there's no guarantee. I don't.
Yeah, sometimes you can throw comps out the window, is what Mike just said, right? And a home is worth what a buyer is willing to pay. And in this case, they got, and if you have some people that come from California, and do we have some movement? What are they accustomed to? They'll throw cash at it because the one is, if they had equity in their home there, they think this is the greatest place to live. They're like, oh, we'll throw it. I've seen this. I'm not making these stories up. We'll throw $70,000, $100,000 over list price to make sure that we get it. So you don't have to worry about appraisal, because we will waive the appraisal. That's another class on multiple offer situations and how to stick out. But that does come in critical, that we have to waive the appraisal price.
One thing to consider is that as lending conforming interest rates have gone up, that gives potential buyers a lot more room to be able to qualify for these homes. You know, the current jumbo limit here is $647,000. It means you could buy a $675,000 with as little as 5% down. And so with that mindset, we're thinking the old mindset 2-3 years ago, when our max jumbo limit was in the 500s, to buy a $675,000 house, you had to put 20% down. We're not there anymore. And so that may be a way to overcome the increase in prices. Yeah, you're going to pay more for the house, but you've got an opportunity to put a lot less money down to get into the house. You know, every loan program has different criteria for minimum down payments. I'm seeing people putting down less and less over the last couple of months. 5% will get you, with great credit, get you the best rates you can get on a conventional loan.
Okay, that's all you
Thank
get.
you.
Okay, what you just heard there was lending practices. We're going to get a little bit more freedom. Hence, are we going to start blowing a bubble, right? Pay attention to it. And he was just talking about it. They're getting more creative to get there. I don't think, Andy and I, we bought our first home. It was 8.25% interest rate. We were ecstatic because it was going down. We thought I got a deal. I don't think we'll ever see interest rates like this again in our lifetime at that high. Could be wrong. This is just me. But don't get surprised if you see them in the 5s. That's worst case.
Back in the bubble, they were 5.6.
Yeah.
Inventory was much higher.
Yeah, but you had your non-conforming, no income, no nothing. Oh, we'll give you a loan.
The subprime was just low there.
Okay, one other slide in and I'm going to kick. You're just going to keep going fast and I'll tell you when to stop. Remember, we got to the point where I'm looking for the distressed properties. And then I'll go back to whenever. Remember when we got to, all the forgiveness we were going to give to COVID and all these foreclosures and short sales were going to hit the market? Remember that? That didn't happen, by the way. There is less distress, people underwater. They're not out there, right? They're not people. Now, we need to make sure that people would never let them happen. And you have equity in your home, get to them and make sure that they would never let get behind on a payment or something, because they could sell it and get out and be ahead. So that's where I was jumping from. Oh, there's some other, here it was. Yeah. Look at the distressed properties from 08. These are foreclosure, short sales, all those good times. Those were fun, right? Anybody done a short sale? How many love short sales? Bernadette said you loved them. Oh my goodness. And you look here, it's less than one. They're not there. Yes. Yes. No, I don't, but we're still seeing a lot of the iBuyer homes on the market, right? Open Door is, that's Pecan Grove, yeah. Yeah. I think most of them, they were liquidating. We're not seeing much in our area. If they are, they'll trickle out. Now, the Open Door, there's some high percentages of the amount of listings that they had, but meaning that you bought this home a year ago and you guys weren't talking to them. Do you know how much money that seller lost? And they could choose that right, but nobody got to them and told them the truth. They just saw a little thing is, we'll buy your home and no agent fees or nothing. We'll write you a check. And they go, click. Zillow did. That's what got them in trouble. Oh, Open Door, not as much though, right? If they're a little bit smarter, but some of them are, but they're banking on getting into it. But also at the same point is I'm just telling you, I believe sellers lost money. Like We Buy Ugly Homes has been around forever. All that is an easy button. We'll come in and buy your home, but it's usually somebody who's a professional not talking to them. Get in front of your people and tell them the truth. Give them the reality of where they are. They have more equity in their home than they actually realize, if they're realistic about it. I just don't think we're going to see a lot of those. They might trickle through a little bit. Okay. And then I did one more good slide. I go over these all day. We'll put these, here's your underwater homes. This is what I'm talking about. There's just, people aren't underwater, right? Meaning your home, you owe more on your home than what it's worth. I don't even see people underwater on their cars anymore right now in the environment we're in. That blows me away. Oh, I sold my truck. Why? Because they gave me more than what I paid for it. When in the history of the world we ever said that about an automobile? That's kind of the state that well, it goes up, comes down, right? This is all going to change. So that gives you another indicator. Okay, so let me recap. We're going to make all these slides. We'll probably grab a couple more to have them as discussion. I'm really encouraging you, grab some of these and making sure they're part of your arsenal, right? Or part of your marketing campaign and teaching people where we are in this in reality. If you have a buyer right now, that you got to have a little bit of a come to what speech to them before you even hit the road. Because if they're not in reality, they're going to send out 30 offers before they learn. That is a reality. And we got to give them data, and the affordability that we showed last time, the affordability of owning a home is still it's awesome, because we're still giving money away at a really low cost. You're like, it's 4%. 4%. No, put it in perspective. Because what is it like to sell a home and interest rates are at 13%? Yeah. I guess the greatest challenge we have to discover is, I would sell my home, I'd eat my need, where would I go? And that's where you got to get real creative and go find properties for them. And the quicker we can make deals and make things happen and move them in, all following our National Association and ethics and all, doing it the right way, but there's a way to do it. Okay, best market is the market you're in. Every market brings an opportunity. This game right here is we control the listings, we can control the game. Kathy, I said that too. She goes, that's always the case. It is, right? You need to go after listings. Okay, thoughts, ahas? Stop talking, Chad. Either one of those are all appropriate. It doesn't hurt my feelings. But I'm more excited than ever to be in real estate, by the way. I wish I owned more real estate, because I've seen the portfolio do what with my real estate that I owned? Change drastically. And if it comes up and it goes down a little bit, I was here, it went up, it's going to adjust. No big deal. I'm not going to get that excited. We need to all buy dirt, and we got to get people to buy dirt. Okay, awesome. AMCAP, anything else you want to say? You pretty much stole the mic, whatever. Catherine, anything you could add? Okay, great. Reliant or patent title? Come on up. We have our lunch sponsor here too. All right, come on in.
So
Nothing big this week. I just want to say I'm obsessed with you guys. I love you all so much. And the fact that half of you in here call me when you have a question about other title companies or things like that makes me happy. I swear, even if you guys don't use me, I want to be that resource for you. And I really want to be there to help you, which brings me to the point of helping you on Red Day. I have a contest. This doesn't include, if you're with the marketing committee or in that committee for Red Day, you cannot answer. Someone else has to answer this. What day is Red Day? Here you go. Because you're there for me, I'm there for you, and I love Red Day. So, and then one more thing, the first person to go to patenttitle.com, go down, scroll down where you get to our wonderful patent proven process. It walks you through all the steps. The first person to do that and screenshot it and send it to me. If you don't have my number, sorry, you're out of luck. Screenshot that and send it to me. You're gonna get 2 rodeo tickets and concert tickets, wherever, whatever night you want.
Tell one more time.
Go to patenttitle.com and look for the patent proven process.
And screenshot it and send it to her.
And text it to me, email it to me. I'll make sure I verify who came in first.
Okay.
Fun fact,
Yes.
real quick. Do you know, hold on, where's it at? In 2005, Powerball had 110 winners, and it's because the fortune and the winning numbers were in a fortune cookie. It was 110 winners, and it was in the fortune cookie in 2005.
That'd be my luck. I'd hit it, and then you had to share it with 2.
Because it was in a fortune cookie, and people actually played that. Thank you.
She mentioned Red Day. So if any of you guys are excited and want to join and sign up for Red Day, make sure you see Renee and Tasha over there. We're currently taking signups for Red Day. And those of you online, just email Tasha.
Take it over. Reliant Energy.
Reliant. I'm Bernadette James Arzu, and I've been working with UE for at least the past 3 years, turning my clients over to her because not only does she service them well, but Reliant does have a great product. What I love about working with UE is if you turn a client over to her and the rate that they have is better than what she can offer them, she will tell them. So I've been sending my clients to her because what I've discovered is if your clients, if you have a good relationship with them and they trust you, they trust that you're not going to lead them wrong. Rest assured, UE is the person to send them to. Not only does she explain it, because most people don't know what all the terms and how they come up with all the different pricing, because I don't either, but I trust UE. So send your clients to her, and what's in it for you? You get points. If your client signs up for electricity and or security, you get points that you can turn into so many different things. You can get gift cards that you can turn it back to your clients. You can use a little bit of it for marketing, whatever you may want to. So if you're not using UE and sending your clients to her, whether they're renters or buyers or sellers, you're missing out. Give her a try. It's been a pleasure
Go sit
working
down
with her.
after that. That's all you need, by the way. Awesome. That's a great story. Absolutely. I have personally do my properties with Reliant as well. So great resource, and she'll educate them. That's a concierge service. She's only going to make you look better. That's it. Okay. Awesome. Okay. And we're on to our lunch sponsor. Come on up, Saratoga Homes. All right. Kevin, right? Take it over. You're speaking online too. You got a good audience.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing today? My name is Kevin. I'm with Saratoga Homes. Anyone here familiar with Saratoga Homes? Yes. Okay, awesome. All right. So I'm not going to talk too much about that, but I just kind of want to tell y'all about what we're building right now. We're building in Rocheron, Manville, and Alvin right now. So we're in the south side of Houston. Rocheron, we're building on a 40-foot product. So it's going to be homes from 1,500 square feet to 2,100 square feet. So those homes are going to allow us to hit a lower price point because of what the market is doing right now. Lumber is still going up, so we're still having price increases. So we're going to start at 300,000, going up to 350 in that community. So like I said, those are 40-foot lots, and they're 125 feet deep. So if your buyers are looking for some backyard space, then I feel like that would be a great community. And then so we also have Manville and Alvin. So I've had buyers come out to Rosharon and they're looking for a bigger home. And I've literally driven them to Alvin, Texas. And it matched what they're looking for because we're building up to 3,000 square feet out there. So those are 50-foot lots. And they're also 120 feet deep. So those homes are 300,000 to 300,000 to 300 by 400,000. So those homes are more, less of a starter home. So those homes are for buyers who maybe they just sold a home and they're looking to move on to their next home. So like I said, that's a community that a lot of people may not be looking to live in because it's Alvin, Texas. I don't know a lot of people who want to live in Alvin, Texas right now. But like I said, we've driven a lot of people out there. We've got a lot of realtors to show them the product. All right, you know, you might ask your buyer, they might say I want to live in Pearland, Manville, Friendswood, Webster. You know, not Alvin though. But just show them the product. That's all we ask. That's all you can do. Even if you don't want to come out, just call. You can call me. I'm gonna give you all my card. Call me and say, hey, Kevin, I got a buyer that might want to take a look at your product. You can count on us to include you in our contracts. We won't ever leave a realtor off the contract. You know, we value our realtors heavily. We don't spend a lot of dollars on marketing, so that's why we do BTSAs a lot. So right now in Alvin, we're doing a $2,000 BTSA on any home that's in trim to complete. So trim to complete just means a home that can close between 45 to 60 days. And then so the last community I want to talk about is Rodeo Palms in the gated section. It was like some custom homes built back there. Is anybody familiar with the Rodeo Palms area right now? Okay. So we have some custom homes we built back there. So we're building on 60-foot lots in the Rodeo Palms area. And so those homes are going to be from 500,000 maybe to 700,000. We haven't released pricing because like I said, we're a smaller builder and lumber is still going up. So we don't want to price the homes too low. And then we end up having to terminate buyers because we can't hit our profit margins on the homes, you know? So once we hit probably about the sheetrock stage, we'll release those homes to you and for you to send them out to your buyers if that's something that they might be interested in. And then so also we'll be building in Magnolia, Cypress, and then I will also have a community called Skyview along 288 in Orem, for maybe your young professionals who want to be closer to the city and don't want to be really on the outskirts of Houston, you know. So that's pretty much what we have going on. Like I said, thank y'all for allowing me to come out and talk a little bit about what we have. I'll hand out some inventory sheets. Like I said, if you ever want to call me and you have a buyer who just wants to come out and look at the community, give me a call. You know, if they want to go on the contract, I won't ever leave a realtor off the contract. You know, I want y'all to get y'all commission because we value y'all and I need y'all to be successful in my industry as well. So thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yes,
All right, good stuff. We'll hang around a little bit if you have any. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. If any of that was helpful, go to kwsw25.com. It'll be there as fast as Norman and the mesh. If it's not there, it's their fault. All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Norman.